Yo, party people in the place to be. What's good? It's your main man's Uncle Freezy. Welcome to a Blorange Tears podcast, episode number 10. I'm your main man, Uncle Freezy. Shout out to all of our listeners on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, iHeart Radio, Player FM, and all other platforms you listen to the Blorange Tears audio podcast on, and also a special shout out to those savages that watch the Blorange Tears YouTube channel on a daily basis. Shout out to y'all, man. Love y'all. Got a topic that I want to talk to y'all about briefly. It is called Ready, Set, Grow. Ready, set, grow. Ready, set, grow. All right. So I just want to get into the ready, set, grow aspect of things just really quick. So how the ready, set, grow analogy generally works when it comes to NBA franchises is this. You decide on what you need, or come to a realization of what it is that you need. You procure the seeds for that thing that you need. You find fertile ground to plant those seeds, right? You get something to help nourish those seeds, right? And then you wait. And then you wait. Now, the thing is the waiting is not always the easy part, right? The waiting is not always the easy part, but we're going to get to that part and how it applies to the New York Knicks, right? All right. So what do the Knicks need? And what do the Knicks want? Hey, I see y'all out there. Jeremy, what's good? Darren Wayne in the place to be. JJ, what's good? Hey, Pudge Nice is in the building. Good to see y'all, man. And for those that are listening to this on the audio format, the YouTube chat is always bananas, and you can check us out on YouTube / Blorange Tears, BLORANGETEARS. That's us. That's Uncle Freezy and these crazy Knicks fans that rock with us every day. Right? Nick G is in the building. All right. So here's the thing. Here's the thing. What do the Knicks want, and what do they need in order to get that thing that they want? Knicks fans want championships, plural, not one, but Knicks fans feel like we deserve a championship run, right? And on that championship run, you don't necessarily have to win a championship every year, but you want to be in championship contention every year. You're going to be in championship contention every year, right? You're gonna be in championship contention every year. Knicks fan, is that what you want? Yes. JJ is reading my mind. JJ, I have some notes right here that I jotted. You can't see them. I'm actually waving them with the Word doc right here in front of y'all, but y'all can't see them. It's just on my screen. But I'm gonna get to that, JJ. Right. So the Knicks want championships, right? So how do they get championships, and how do they build? How do they start the process of being competitive for a championship? Well, you need superstars, plural. You need superstars, plural. And if you don't have two superstars, you need at least a superstar and two stars and three really good players, or you need a superstar and three stars, but you definitely have to have some combination of star level talent. And for years, what the Knicks have done is, instead of planting the seeds in their own garden and reaping the harvest that they planted, they just went to the grocery store. Or the Knicks just went out and got fast food. Right? The Knicks just went out and got fast food. And we look like a franchise that has gotten full off of fast food over the years. The Knicks look just like a franchise that has lived off of fast food for 25 years almost. Right? What I'm suggesting is the Knicks need to develop their own stars, eat out of the garden, so to speak. Plant seeds in the garden. Have the garden, have our garden be a fertile place for young seeds to grow. That's what the Knicks need to do at this point. Have plant our own seeds in our own garden, cultivate that garden, nourish it, be patient with it, and ensure that that garden is an environment conducive for young seeds to grow and develop into stars. Right? All right. So establishing the fact that the Knicks need superstars and that they need to do a certain thing, what I'm going to say to you is that procuring seeds doesn't always mean you have to draft young talent, even though I think that's the best way to go for the Knicks. I think the Knicks need to find young talent wherever they can find it, whether it's a super young, raw free agent, say somebody 19 or 20, and that's rare, or just keep drafting away until you find that guy. And that's the common way to do it. That's the common way to do it, right? Or by trading for a young talent on someone else's team that is fresh out of the draft. Bartering is what it is. I'll give you an example, though I know this will never happen, but this is the type of situation where I'll say bartering. Trade young talents that you have that don't fit with another team that has young talent on their team that doesn't. Example. Here's an example, and I'm not saying do this because I love the guy, right? But say trade Cam Reddish to Oklahoma City for Trey Mann, the third or fourth point guard on a team that's loaded with point guards and young talent. That's just an example. I'm not saying do that because I love Cam Reddish, but that's an example of what it is that I would be suggesting to you in that bartering situation. Here's the thing. My thing is do it the most common way. The most effective way is draft your own stars. Draft them. Draft your own stars, and it doesn't matter how long it takes. It doesn't matter how many attempts are made to draft that star. You keep doing it and doing it and doing it. And eventually, what becomes of that strategy of doing it and doing it and doing it, you get good at it. Eventually. Eventually. It happened with the Oklahoma City Thunder. They didn't just wake up one day and just draft Kevin Durant. They missed on a lot of draft picks before they got to Kevin Durant. Then they hit on Durant. And then they hit on Harden, Westbrook, Roberson, Adams, Ibaka, um, Jeff Green. But they had swung. Y'all remember Radmanovich? Yeah, I remember him. Same thing with the Warriors. Before the Warriors selected Steph Curry, Harrison Barnes, Draymond Green, Klay Thompson, they drafted names like Beardrins, Anthony Randolph, Marco Bellinelli. So what I'm saying to the Knicks is, as a farmer, you're not going to be the best farmer right away. You have to just keep doing it until you get good at it. You get good at it. Young farmers are skinny farmers. Old farmers are fat farmers. You feel me? And if you can draw the direct correlation there to what I'm saying to you, if you're a Knicks fan, right? I'm saying to you, draft your potential stars. But here's a question that I ask a Knicks fan right now. This is what I'm going to ask a um, dedicated Knicks fan. Did the Knicks Were the Knicks successful in both of those scenarios that I just mentioned? Did the Knicks draft stars recently? Do they have players that have the potential to be stars? I'll answer that question for you. Yes. I think the Knicks have players that have the potential to be stars, but here's the thing. Here's the thing. Do you have the environment in place? Do you have the environment in place? Do you have the farmers in place? Do you have the people that will cultivate in place to get the very best out of these young players to have them reach their star level potential? Do you see Tom Thibodeau turning Obi Toppin into a megastar? Do you see Tom Thibodeau being the coach that can turn RJ Barrett into a star? Is Leon Rose's front office the type of front office that can implement systems and pave a direction for the young talent on the roster right now to become stars? Just a thought. It's a rhetorical question. And here is a question about the bartering question that I asked everyone also. If you're a farmer and you have a young star that doesn't fit, do you trade your young star to another team that has a star that doesn't fit? Bring him into your culture and cultivate his talent and is patient with him. Well, the Knicks have done that also. The Knicks have done that twice. The Knicks traded Kristaps Porzingis for what may have been a young star in Dennis Smith Jr. Unfortunately, it didn't work out. The Knicks have also traded Kevin Knox, a guy where it wasn't going to work out here, for another young potential star in Atlanta named Cam Reddish, to bring him here to see if they could get the best out of him. So not only did the Knicks draft young players, they traded for young players. As a Knicks fan, are you open to the possibility of the Knicks drafting, and bartering, going and get a young guy from another team that doesn't seem to fit on that team, but may fit here? Are you open to that as a Knicks fan? Also, also, you have to have a culture of winning and player development. You have to have a culture of winning and player development. It was said throughout the offseason that the Knicks won 37 games, and the Alec Burks was necessary, Evan Fournier was necessary, Derrick Rose, Taj Gibson were necessary. What I would say to you is this: if you're looking to make the playoffs and make some noise in the playoffs, that was absolutely necessary. If you're looking to develop the kids for the future, that was totally unnecessary. That was totally unnecessary. In a situation where you're looking to develop young talent, you can't develop young talent by just giving them minutes, meaningless minutes. You want your young players to develop in high leverage situations. You want to stress those young players in a good way, in a good way. You want those young players to know what it's like to be in real game situations, with games and situations on the line where they have to have one of two absolute outcomes. You either pass or fail. It can't be ambiguous. The thing about learning is, when things are ambiguous, there is no direct lesson learned. There is no direct lesson learned when you play young players a ton of minutes in ambiguous situations. All they do is go out and play and maybe get confidence in a thing, but that is their personal growth. What you want young players to learn, is how to grow in a team game, play for each other, realize how your individual skills help impact the team game. Because ultimately, if one young player you drafted excels, scores 20 points a game, but you lose and five other young kids turn out to be busts, the team lost. That player won. That player raised his profile and he may advance in the league, but the other four young guys that you had that lost and didn't win, you lost a game, and then those players are on that trail to being busts. And that's not what you want. What you want is all the kids to be in high leverage situations all the time, so they'll know who to trust amongst that group, what system they feel comfortable with running as a group, and how they will pull together in good times and in bad times. That's what you want. You want a young core that's going to play together, grow together, ups and downs, bad shooting nights, great shooting nights, outmanned, out talented, out experienced. You want them to face all these different things so they can go, grow, and show all together. You want a rising tide to lift all boats. You don't want first round picks to be wasted. You want first round picks to exceed their worth. You want first round picks to exceed their worth. Now, how do you do that? How do you do that? You have to play these kids together, put systems in place that fit their skills, and play things to their confidence. This is how you get there. You have to hire a front office and a coaching staff with a mindset that over the next few years or so, you are solely you are solely focused on developing young stars. Now, once you get the young stars, you can change the mindset because the goal and this conversation we're talking about ready, set, grow. Ready, set, grow. Now, once you get your stars, our conversation will be different. How do you get over the hump? That's a different conversation. Right now, that's not what the Knicks are at. Where the Knicks are. The Knicks are in ready, set, grow mode. Is this front office and coaching staff in a mindset of developing young players? I am saying right now, by the moves that they made this offseason, I think they are absolutely in that mindset. I think they've learned from last season that this roster is not ready to make a significant playoff push. It was foolish to think that a bunch of cast off journeymen thrown together in one season can make the playoffs and make a run. And yes, these were cast off journeymen: Nerlens Noel, Alec Burks, Evan Fournier, Kemba Walker, and even Derrick Rose to an extent were cast off journeymen, dudes from a bunch of different NBA teams brought together to try to support a team. I'm not even going to say a young team. I'm just going to say a team at the time. And expected them to make the playoffs and make noise. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Right? And I think they realized that. It's the reason why there was a pursuit of Jaden Ivey. It was the reason why there were rumors out of Zach LaVine's camp that the Knicks were in the top 3 of his final destinations. I think it was the reason why the Knicks pursued Donovan Mitchell. Are they in the mindset of developing young players? Yes. After all 3 of those moves failed, after Zach LaVine, after Jaden Ivey, after Donovan Mitchell, the Knicks realized they couldn't pull these things off. It's best to develop young players, and that for that reason, you didn't see the Knicks go out and sign anybody over 30 years old in free agency. For that reason, you didn't see the Knicks sign a 30 something, bring a 30 something. For one, I think that Knicks fans would have rioted. Play the kids. Stop being stupid. But secondly, they know now that they can't build it that way. They have to get into the mindset of ready, set, grow. Develop the kids. So while they were not initially, right now, in this moment, I believe they are. Now, with that said, once you get into the mindset that the kids are the priority, now it's okay to bring in quality vets, guys that know their sole job is to support these kids. Their mindset is not about how many buckets they can get, but get RJ Barrett going on a 2-on-1. And the best basketball play is for you to get the layup. I understand what the best basketball play is. Give that ball up to Cam Reddish and let Cam Reddish do something. In that 3-on-1, you coming down on a 3-on-1 break and the defense is sagging off the veteran, and you have a young kid on each wing, give that ball up to that young kid and let that young fella eat. And I know what you guys are going to say, Uncle Freezy, but that's not winning basketball. But you know what it's like? It's like when you are with your kids and they order something and they don't like it, and you order something and you like it, but they want some of your food. You're like, you got your food over there. That's what you said you wanted. And they got it and they didn't like it. It's one to grow on. You know what you do? You let your kids eat off your plate. Let them young kids eat off your plate, young vet or old vet. And any parents out there, exactly what we're talking about. The kids get something, they don't like it. They see what you want, they want to eat off your plate. Let them young kids eat, man. Let them young kids eat off your plate. You're an adult. You can handle it. You already been there and done that. Let them eat. Let them young fellas eat. Let those young fellas eat. They said they wanted the fish sandwich. You got a burger and fries, and then when you get your burger and fries, they want to eat some of your burgers and fries. Let them eat some of your burgers and fries, man. Let them young kids eat, man. Bring in quality vets, man, to help these kids get to the next level. That's what you want. Let these kids grow and develop and sacrifice your game and your resources for these kids. Invest in these kids. Invest in these kids. There should be no reason why going into this season, any veteran, any older veteran on this team should be featured more than any of these young guys on no night. I don't care what I don't care about the Carmelo Anthony talk. I don't care about no Evan Fournier 3-point record. I don't care about Derrick Rose is in the best shape of his life. I don't care about any of that stuff. What I care about is Grimes getting over the hump. Cam getting over the hump. What I care about is RJ getting over the hump. We don't care about Evan Fournier taking 9 3-point shots. We're not developing Evan Fournier, and there's no knock on Evan Fournier because he's a fine player, right? But right now, we need to focus on playing these kids, playing these kids. That should be the focus. Ready, set, grow. Ready, set, grow. And one other thing I want to touch on. I don't know where this phone just started by itself. That's crazy. Um, one other thing, one other thing that's going to help in this process, and what will ultimately help and processes is being forthright with your consumers. Being forthright with your consumers and your customers. You have to be forthright with your consumers and your customers. And y'all know what consumers are, and you know what customers are. Consumers are the people that are invested in the product. They don't always buy, but they maybe spread the word. And customers are the people that's swiping their card or doing whatever. And yes, consumers can be customers. Y'all know all that stuff. I'm not going to get into business and all that. But the thing is, you want to tell your fans, your consumers and your customers, what direction you are going in, so that they can help you grow this culture, so that they can help you prune the environment, so that they can help you support your movements. If you just come out and say, if you're Leon Rose and you just come out and say, hey, we are playing the kids, your consumers, your customers will get behind you in a youth movement. What they don't do, what they won't do, is support you when they don't know what the direction is. When your consumers and your customers, when your consumers and your customers don't know what direction you're going in, they won't follow. Because nobody likes being led astray. Nobody likes being led astray. Right? Pick a direction and go and tell us what direction that you're going in. Ready, set, grow. This has been your man, Uncle Freezy, doing the audio podcast, episode number 10, season 1. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. We out of here. Peace, y'all.